All right. What's going down, y'all? This is Jay from Kuture. Shouts out to the Good Hare Community. What's going on today? I have my brother, Kareem Williams, joining us to kind of let us know what he's got going on and what 2020 looked like for him. So, what's up, bro?
Not much.
Introduce yourself, please.
Kareem Williams, formerly known as Todd Williams. I'm from Kuture Realty, as you guys are a subsidiary of Kuture itself. So I just started about 2-3 years ago. I decided to branch off from Kuture itself and create its own entity as Kuture Realty. Over the past couple of years, I've been trying my hardest to kind of build my brand. It's been a slow process, but as we're going to discuss, shortly, 2020 has been a lot of ups and downs in terms of business, life, so on and so forth. But I can honestly say that 2020 on a business standpoint has been more ups than downs. So with this little back and forth I'm going to have with Kuture himself, we'll discuss and you guys will have more insight in regards to what I do.
Okay. So for me, 2020 was like everybody else probably was like a year of projection, a year of visualization, a year of 2020 vision, and that's everybody's kind of take heading into the year,
Right.
leaving 2019 in the past, and like I had plans of expanding Kuture for this year. I'm pretty excited about it, and 2020 didn't allow that to happen the way that I envisioned it. But nonetheless, you pivot and you start to strategize on what's next. Right. So, 2020 being what it has been for most of us, what has it done for you? What is it like? How have you found yourself in 2020 in this year?
Personally, what I found out about myself is I'm super resilient. When I say resilient, I mean I can go through a lot of adversity and I can deal with it. I've learned that about myself. I knew that a long time ago, but going through 2020 made me realize how tough I am. Absolutely confirmed it. But the downside about that is my resiliency kind of takes away some of my emotions as well. You understand? I've been through so much emotionally, business-wise, that I've almost built up. I'm gonna take something from this audiobook that I read. David Goggins, "You Can't Hurt Me."
Yeah.
He references building up a callus.
Yeah.
Whereas things happen to you, and you just gotta push through. You just gotta keep going. You understand what I mean? And I think I built up that callus, but that callus is almost so thick where things don't faze me as much as I think they should. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So the resiliency is a great thing, but at the same time, at what detriment? Am I losing sympathy? Am I losing empathy? What things am I losing along with gaining that resilience? You understand what I mean? So that's something that I learned about myself. Another thing that I learned about myself is how important my energy is. Okay, not my energy that when I'm around people, but the energy that I give to others. You understand what I mean? A lot of people talk about currency is worth so much and time is worth so much, but honestly, I can tell you your energy is worth everything in the world. Because if you're draining your energy, it takes away from you and what you have the ability to do during your day. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Right now, I go to the gym. I was doing manual labor for like 5, 6, 7 months straight. Now, if I'm around people that are taking away my energy, it's making withdrawals for my next day where I have to make a lot of deposits. You understand? So I got to keep my energy level as close to 100 as possible.
For you to have a successful day.
For me to have a successful day, that same day or the following day.
Right.
Because it can get draining at times.
Yeah.
Right? So I learned how important my energy is and try to reserve as much of it as possible. So those are two major things that I learned about myself in 2020.
Okay. That's strong. Just learning how energy is super valuable and some of us don't even cherish or realize how important it is to us to function within ourselves and with the people around us.
Absolutely.
And I guess you gotta as you say, you know where your energy comes from, and sometimes people don't know where to get their energy sources from.
Correct.
So that's big to kind of figure yourself out and know where you get your things from if you want to start moving forward in other areas. To know where you can get this source of energy to kind of proceed. All right, yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. How's 2020 affected you, business-wise?
Business-wise, I honestly have to say it was the best year, business-wise, hands down, the best year. Now, my 2020 started the last quarter of 2019. So I was working full-time throughout all 2019, and then I actually got fired from my job in September 2019. So I may have mentioned this to you, but so as soon as I got fired from the job, I was working on my plans for 2020 during 2019 as it was anyways. But when I got fired, I started to say, okay, shit, I gotta look for another job ASAP. Like I need to get going. Like I gotta get another job right away. And I worked for I was on the I was online job sites probably 2, 3, 4 days, 3-4 hours a day, sending out resumes one after the other, until I got to the point where it was an aha moment. It was literally an aha moment where I must have sent one final email, and I just sat up and I was like, wait a minute, I'm literally spending 20-30 hours a week sending out resumes. Imagine I use that same energy and put it in myself, right?
There you go.
So that started my journey for 2020. And because I had a definite plan in place, it made everything so much easier in terms of reaching that goal. My goal was to have 2 projects going on simultaneously for 2020. I lost the job in September. One project landed in my lap, basically, which is mom and dad's place, in November. Then my next project closed on the house in January. The actual closing date was March. So if I didn't get fired from that job, who knows if November would have happened? Because my energy wouldn't have been there.
Right.
My energy would have been at going to work at 9 to 5 or doing whatever I was doing.
So getting fired was a catalyst for you to be able to start exploring your planning, so you already had in place what we're acting on.
Absolutely. So what happens now is that my energy, everything is focused in regards to having these having 2 projects going on simultaneously for 2020. And as soon as I said to myself, I'm going all in, things just started falling right into place.
So how did that feel? Like, how did that feel knowing that this is your first time, like, delving into this type of situation? Delving into these type of projects, your first time?
Well, no, because I've done small projects like this throughout, like fixing lights here and there and painting and this and that. But in terms of a big project, this was my 2 big projects. Like I've done like cleanups and staging and things of that sort, but never to the point where I'm taking the hammer and tearing down walls and tearing out cabinets. I've never gone that far, but I was like, how hard can it be? And you know what? If it's hard, I'll figure it out on the way. So it felt good to know that I'm taking on something that I've always wanted to do.
Right.
Like, this is something that I've talked about since like 2009. Yeah, this is something I talked about since 2009. Like, this is something I've always wanted to do. It's always been in my subconscious mind to do renos. Always. I don't know why. I enjoyed it, and I've always been into project management. Starting a project and seeing it through to the end, right? So just seeing what I envisioned come to light now was just absolutely awesome. Yeah.
So you're saying you had the plan, you've always had, so you had the vision.
Right.
During 2019, you created the plan,
Correct.
but weren't acting on it. But then being terminated from your job is like someone took you, threw you in the swimming pool and said swim.
Well, I was acting on it
Okay.
throughout all 2019. So if you take a look at some of the videos I did back in 2019, you'll see me go into house after house after house. This was all during my 9 to 5. Right? This was all during my 9 to 5 time. But because I had such a flexible schedule and I was doing sales. So I was in the office, out of office. So I had the ability to do both things simultaneously.
Right.
But here's the issue: when you're doing two things simultaneously like that, you're giving 50% here and 50% there. You're not giving 100% to either one of them. Right? So my boss noticed I wasn't giving 100% there. And me as a boss, I didn't know I wasn't giving 100% on my real estate side, but I came to the realization after I was let go that I wasn't giving 100%.
So you weren't being fair to your boss, and you weren't being fair to yourself.
Correct. So when I got let go, and then I had that aha moment, and I started going out, then I started realizing, okay, there was absolutely no way I'd be able to run these two projects while working on 9 to 5. Absolutely no way.
Okay, yeah.
There was way too much time that I have to dedicate to both these projects, and it would have been virtually impossible. So everything, so cliche, but everything happens for a reason.
No, well,
Absolutely everything. Yeah, definitely.
sick. So what's next?
As soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go look at some more places. I'm already started with my plans for 2021. I already got a couple guys on board in terms of looking to work with, and I'm looking to get a couple more guys in terms of investors and looking to dive into a few more projects. Right? I've already built the formula. I have the data to show what needs to be done, how much money it would take, the hours it takes, a full scope of work, project plan, everything's already in place. So I already have the blueprint to get things done. Now I have the ability to run 1, 2, 3, 4 projects at the same time as long as I have enough investors and enough guys available to do the work.
Okay.
So my plan for 2021 has already started now.
Okay.
Right? And I'm looking to implement it. Like, we want to have something locked down by like January, February latest, and start working by March.
Is it hard to find investors? Is it like a venture capitalist type of situation you're approaching right now, or?
So what it is now, so what I'm looking for is investors now. What I do is, it's sort of you invest in me, I pay you back interest, your money will always be available to you, and then once you say, okay, you know what, I need this funds for something, that money gets sent right back to you, right? So there's more details to it, but like that's
the idea.
That's the idea of it. That's the idea of it. Absolutely.
So you're investing in something, and you're, lack of a better word, safe. Like
right. Exactly. So whoever wants to invest, it's a win-win situation for them. They don't lose any money. All they're doing is actually gaining. Right. So why when I go to my bank is some of the questions they might ask, because the interest rate that I'd be providing on their investment, the bank is not even close to it. If you want to go and do hours and days of research to go look for a bank that'll be able to match you at a minimal deposit in the bank, they'll match it at a certain rate, go ahead. But I'm providing you with something that is clean, cut, and clear. This is what I'm going to do. This is how much I'm going to pay you. When you're ready, give me notice, and I'll give you the funds back. How does that benefit me? Well, that's going to be put towards my project now, right? So everybody wins in this situation, right? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it sounds like some exciting ventures happening for 2021. I can't believe we're here already, man. This year flew by like a breeze.
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing yourself with us. Thanks for sharing your journey through 2021 and how you came from where you are to where you were to where you are now. I appreciate you, man.
Bro.
Good Hare Community, thanks for joining us again today. Again, we have Kareem Williams, and what's your handle?
Kareem. Sorry. Kuture Realty at gmail.com and Kuture Realty at Kuture Realty. Absolutely, sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Wait, actually, in closing, if I can say a couple things, guys. 2020 has been one of the hardest years for a lot of us out there, in terms of finances, in terms of personal, everything you can think of. So what I've told a lot of guys that I follow on IG, and we hold ourselves accountable when it comes to the gym and stuff like that, is if you can make it through 2020, you can make it through anything. Honestly, it was the toughest year. You got to learn to build up that resilience. And like I said, if you can get through it, 2021 is going to be an absolute breeze. It's going to be an absolute breeze. Yes, the pandemic is still going to be here 2021, but
You had your practice?
yeah, you had your practice. You know how to handle it now. Now it's up to you to make that decision to be like, okay, are you going to fold or are you going to break through? I can tell you one thing that a lot of us have to deal with is a lot of people close to us are dealing with things internally that 2020 brought out in them that they didn't want to bring out. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for a lot of people, right?
For sure. There's a lot of mental weight that came along with dealing with the new normal.
Exactly. And you just gotta always just protect yourselves in terms of your energy, protect yourselves in terms of your health. You understand? If you feel yourself going down a certain path, you have to try and identify it as soon as possible and change that right away. Because if you don't change it, it becomes a slippery slope for everybody, especially yourself, but mostly people around you as well. Right? So just find something that is positive. Even if you have issues internally, find something that's positive to take you out of that. If it's reading, if it's running, if it's the gym, if it's something that takes you out of that dark place and brings you to some sort of light. And remember that there's an end to everything. Once you start something, there's always an end. So every day that goes by, you're one day closer to the conclusion, to the end of whatever it is you're going through.
Everything shall pass.
Everything shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you understand that and you keep that within yourself, then each day should be like, oh, all right, I'm one day closer for this to be over. And remember that. And that's how I do things.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do things. That's when I do my projects. I'm like, it gets tedious and it gets hard. It's a lot of hard work. But I'm like, all right, one day closer. One day closer. One day closer. And then you look at the finished product and you're like, yo, it's amazing, man. I did this.
Mm-hmm.
That's your journey. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You made it through.
Mm-hmm.
So next time it's easier for you to go through it. It's nothing. It's a breeze. You build up that callus now.
Right.
That callus is built. It's
the muscle memory.
Right.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody listening, protect yourself, protect your inner peace, protect your energy. Find something that makes you happy and do it. Mm-hmm. As long as there's no detriment to the people around you, do it. Because 2020 was no joke. All right, but 2020 will absolutely be better for everybody. Absolutely.